Welcome everyone. I know that there's still a few more people joining, but we'll get started. So I'd like to start off today's session by acknowledging that UBC's Vancouver campus is located on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Musqueam people. I'm so excited to have everyone here with us today in this student panel to talk about what it's like to be a woman in engineering. So we have two current students with us today, and I'll get to them in 1 second because first I have an exciting giveaway. So we are giving away a UBC hoodie to one person right now. And so the winner for that is Iris Taylor. So Iris, congratulations. I will be following up with email later today to let you know how to claim that free UBC hoodie. And for everyone that sticks around to the end of this panel, we will be giving away one more UBC hoodie at that point in time as well. So stick around to win another hoodie, which is exciting. And without further ado, I will get to my panelists. So I have two current students with me here today. I will get them to introduce themselves. So Amelia, do you mind starting?
Sure. Hello everyone, my name is Emilia. I finished my third year of chemical and biological engineering, and I'm currently on co-op for the year before I return back to school to do my fourth year next September. And where I'm from, originally I'm from China, and I moved to Canada with my parents when I was 10. We lived in New Brunswick on the east coast of Canada for almost 10 years before I moved across the country to Vancouver for university here. And I came to UBC because I attended SHAD, a high school program for grade 10 and 11 students. And I was introduced to this beautiful campus and pretty much fell in love with it, with the place, the city, and the people here. And from SHAD, I also found my passion for applied sciences and engineering as a way to drive my love and interest for science and math, because I didn't really know what I could do with them before knowing engineering very well. And yeah, since joining UBC, I've been heavily involved with the Engineering Undergraduate Society. First as the vice president on the first year council, and then gradually with other initiatives and events like Frosh Week, we call it Week E0, E to the power of 0, giving you 1, and Career Fair, and this year I'm the conference director, which is organizing, finding conferences for students to attend and bring back that knowledge back to our UBC engineering community. Yeah. Awesome. And for my co-op, do you want to talk about co-op right now or a little later?
We can talk about co-op a little bit later if you like.
Okay, sounds good.
Perfect. Sajida, I'll let you introduce yourself as well now.
Hi everyone, my name is Sajida and my pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm currently in my second year of studying integrated engineering at UBC. So integrated engineering, if you guys don't know yet, it is a program where you get to combine two different engineering specializations. So you get to choose one as your major, another as your minor, and you have this integrated degree of two things that you really like, or three if you'd like to make it like that. I am from Burnaby, BC. So I was born and raised in BC, and I've been living in Burnaby all my life. So that is my hometown. My parents, though, they're from Bangladesh, so that is part of my culture and my heritage. And things that I've been involved in the engineering field is currently I'm on two engineering design teams. I'm on UBC Rocket, and we're planning to build a rocket and send it out into space. And I'm on the team that is planning to recover it. So after it's gone into space, like out of the Earth's atmosphere, how are we going to make it come back through the Earth's atmosphere safely and land safely, which is a pretty big design task that I'm working on. And I'm also a part of UBC Unmanned Aircraft Systems. So right now we're preparing to create and build drones for competition. So these drones can do things like put off like little medicine bottles in like rural areas. They can be used for filming and like various other tasks. So those are like my UBC involvements within engineering. I'm also a part of the EUS, so I'm the social media director right now. So I do like all the little posts I usually post on our Instagram and our Facebook, etc. And it's a really cool opportunity because I get to know the upper year students and hang out with them sometimes. But yeah, that's my introduction.
Awesome, thanks. Amelia, I do know that you are involved with the Women in Engineering Club at UBC as well. Do you want to talk a little bit about one of the initiatives that you have for high school students right now?
Yes. So I am part of the outreach and education branch of Women in Engineering. And right now we just launched a mentorship program for high school students. And in our first session, we're going to be mainly focusing on helping mainly grade 12 students, but also grade 11 students, introducing you to what UBC engineering and helping you with application process as well. Yeah, so I would highly recommend checking it out. I'll find the link to our application and send it in the group chat.
Yeah, I know that the link to the application is in the Women in Engineering booth, which you can still access the information that's on there. You just can't drop into chat with them anymore. So it's on there, but we'll add it to chat as well. So it's an awesome opportunity to connect with current students. And Women in Engineering is one of the clubs that we have on campus that's sponsored by UBC Engineering. And it really helps to ensure that there's gender equity on campus. Do you want to talk about some of the goals of the club, Amelia, as well?
Not super familiar with the terms yet because I just joined this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sajida wanted to jump in as well.
Yeah, I'm also on Women in Engineering.
Oh, awesome.
I'm on the Professional Development Committee. So our main goals are really providing that comfort and that feeling of equity within the engineering program for women in engineering and anyone else, any other female identifying people. And we really want that, that gap to be bridged and figure out ways for other people to support us and for us to have a little community where you can really rely on each other. And there are 4 different committees that are in the Women in Engineering field. There's the mentorship one, which Emilia is a part of, and then there's the Professional Development Committee, which I'm a part of. So we are basically coming up with like little workshops and panels and other things where you can learn from alumni and career experts on how to make yourself good for the job field and make your most out of your university experience. There are 2 other ones. There's a social one where you make little activities within Women in Engineering and like get to bond with other people. And the last one is the Women in Science and Engineering Committee, which is an event that happens every year where various women are invited in the field to talk with current students and get that one-on-one experience from industry as well.
Awesome. Just a reminder to any of our attendees, if you do have questions, you can use the Q&A option to answer that. But I do have one question that just popped into chat, and this is for Sajida. So you mentioned a lot of aerospace engineering clubs. Is there an aerospace engineering course? I see none on the website. Do you want to talk a little bit about the clubs that are available that you know of that are related to aerospace?
Yeah, of course. This is a great question. So I don't know for sure if there are any specific courses at UBC that are aerospace specifically related, but the thing about engineering is that any mechanical engineering course that you do or a materials engineering or various other engineering courses that you do can be applicable to the aerospace field. So that's really what UBC focuses on. And so on my team, I'm on UBC Rocket and also UBC UAS, which is the drone one. And both of them have many mechanical students, many electrical students, many other types of students that work together to use the skills that we learn in class into this rocketry field and this aerospace field. And there are quite a few clubs and design teams at UBC that like this whole outer space type of concept. So I know there's UBC Orbit, and there's Mars Colony, and you really just got to go to their info sessions and look into their websites and see which one aligns with your interests the most. And I think all of them are really great opportunities to put your foot into the aerospace industry, even if you're not specifically an aerospace engineer yet.
Awesome. Yes, and I will mention, so we don't have aerospace engineering as a specific discipline at UBC Engineering, but we do have some courses that students can take. The majority of them are through mechanical engineering that are kind of related to aerospace courses, but you wouldn't be able to get a specialization in that. But as Sajida mentioned, there's lots of different areas of engineering that apply to aerospace. And so that's one way that you can really get some of that knowledge. And we have a lot of students that go on to work for a lot of different aerospace companies as well. And a lot of them are being hired from our design team. So that's a really great opportunity. So we do have some questions coming in. That's awesome. Thank you so much for that. There's one question that relates a little bit to admission, so I'll address that really quickly. I'm wondering if there is any preference or advantage for girls during the admission process. And the admission process at UBC is gender blind. So when your personal profiles and everything are being reviewed, they actually don't know kind of who you are, anything like that. So we are trying to increase the number of women in engineering, but that's just by getting more applicants and getting more girls interested in engineering so that they can apply and better represent the application pool. There's another question asking about kind of what the ratio is like. So currently, the first year program is at about 29% women, and then each program will be a little bit different because after your foundational first year, you'll go into your engineering discipline that you're interested in, and each of those programs is going to be different depending on what students are in that program. But so it's about 29% for first year students right now. So I have a question that just asks, how do you like being a female in engineering? So have you noticed that there's any other experiences that you have to deal with being a woman in engineering? Or is there anything that either of you want to mention related to that?
Generally, I feel okay. I feel like the important part is having a good understanding of who you are and having faith in yourself and not be afraid to own who you are and be genuine in every process. Like, don't try to change yourself to fit in. Just find the community that you belong, kind of thing. And I think UBC engineering as a whole and within the EU as well is doing quite a good job at inclusivity and building that mutual respect between each other. I did hear about some unpleasant experiences, but overall, it's really up to us to make any experience as awesome as we allow it to be.
Awesome. So a lot of our courses do require students to work as part of a team. And so in that, you'll usually be working with other women students and other male students as well. Can either of you tell us about any of your experiences working as part of a team in your engineering courses?
Yeah, so I was going to add on that UBC and like the AppSci department does a really good job of when we're put into groups and teams in first year and even second year, they always make sure that you have like a female partner in that group of that you're in. So for AppSci 100 and 101, which is classes that you would take in your first year, you get put into a group of 6 to work on projects like building cardboard chairs or building autonomous claws. And in that, you will always have another person that identifies as a female that you can kind of rely on. And so I know in my in one of my courses, there were me and this other girl, and we got super close because we were the only 2 people on the team that were females. And that was like a really like fun little experience because it was like we were going through engineering together. And then if I felt uncomfortable like asking one of my guy friends, I knew she was always there. And I think generally in engineering, with that women department, I feel like you kind of have this mutual connection, like, oh, I see you, you're a woman in engineering, like I am too. And we have that soft spot for each other, and we will be going out of our way to help each other out. And I think And another thing is that guys are also there for us. Like for me, I was kind of like, how is this going to be? But everybody is super willing to help you. And if somebody isn't, there's always like 5 other people. Like to every one person, there's like 10 people that are there to help you. So if you do encounter like an unpleasant experience, just move on to the next person, and they're going to be equally as excited to help you out. And then it becomes like a mutual. You're helping them with math, and they're helping you with physics. But overall, like the team environment, I really enjoy it. You get to work on different projects, and everyone gets different tasks, and it's really cool because somebody might be good at coding, and you might be good at like mechanical stuff, and you learn from each other, and it's a really mutually learning experience and growing experience.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. There's another question asking about kind of the programs that you're in and studying, and a little bit more what those programs are about. Emilia, do you want to tell us a little bit more about what CHIBI is, or chemical and biological engineering, and maybe like what your favorite project has been so far that you've gotten to work on?
Okay, I'll try my best. Chemical and biological engineering has very broad applications, ranging from energy, materials, food, clean water, wastewater treatment, and air pollution control, process design, process optimization. Yeah, very broad areas that we cover, but the main ideas are upscaling processes and transferring concepts from the lab to industrial applications. And my interest is in sustainable technology, and I have had the pleasure of working in Dr. Wilkinson's group for the past couple months. I'm on an 8-month co-op term right now in the group, and I've had a 4-month internship last year during the summer. And the project that I am currently involved in is water electrolysis at large. So producing hydrogen by electrolyzing water. And because of COVID, we've transferred some work to a remote situation, kind of environment. Over the summer, I was involved in writing a review paper, working with the postdoc in the group. And right now, my job is mainly on simulations, and I have a day or two in the lab once or twice a week to work on lab experiments.
Awesome. And Sajida, could you tell us a little bit more about integrated engineering, and also maybe what your favorite kind of project that you've been a part of so far has been?
Yeah, for sure. So I think I spoke a little bit about integrated engineering in my intro, but it is basically what integrated engineering is known for, and the reason I chose it were its engineering design projects. So every year in integrated engineering, you have a capstone project where you work with 5 or 6 other people, and you come up with a design and you like make it happen basically. And this usually happens in all the other engineering fields as well, but it happens in your 4th year. But for integrated engineering, it happens in your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So you'll have 3 capstone projects in your degree, and that is really what attracted me to it. And integrated engineering in my 2nd year, you basically get to do a little bit of everything. You get a taste of chemical and engineering, you get a taste of materials engineering and mechanical engineering. And from there, the reason I chose that was because in 1st year, I felt I had a lot of core subjects handled, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. Like, did I want to do chemical? Did I want to do mechanical? I was unsure. But by doing a 2nd year in integrated engineering, you really step your foot into every single discipline and take a course in their field. And from there, you have a more broad idea. Like, let's say in the future, you're working in a mechanical design firm, you still have that chemical engineering, computer engineering background, which can help in the end product of where you're working because you have so much knowledge in the various different fields. And then you get to specialize later on in your 3rd year and really focus on that and take whichever courses you would want to take. A project that I'm liking so far is we're building a robot right now in integrated engineering. So it's basically like it has Arduino and like little circuits and stuff like that. And there's a course mapped out on the floor, and it has sensors in it, and basically it's like when you put the robot on the map, it moves along the black line, and it like takes twists and turns. And I feel like that's pretty cool because it's like, wow, I didn't know I would be building robots here, but that's what's happening. And I wanted to also mention another experience that I just started to get involved in, and I'm basically in the REX program where I am shadowing a grad student in mechanical slash biomedical engineering, and he's doing research in like ear implants with CAD modeling, and it's basically he's doing he's a grad student, and I get to participate in research with him, and I think it's a really cool opportunity to look into. It's the undergraduate research opportunities, so URO at UBC. And basically they match you even in your first year, and you at the end of the year you get to do a whole research paper and presentation after having shadowed this person in grad school or in their PhD. And it's a really cool opportunity if you're looking to do your master's or your PhD later on. And it also looks really good on your resume, so I would super recommend it.
Awesome. There's a few questions coming in that are all kind of related about if you know what you want to do when you graduate and what sort of careers are you thinking of going into. So I know that you're both still studying and that you might not know exactly what you want to do when you graduate, but can you give any insight to kind of like what your goals are working in the future?
Yeah, sure thing. So before I came to UBC, I set the goal of pursuing academic research in sustainable clean energy sector. That's a goal that I set after attending SHAD because we had a bunch of personal development workshops and had some more experience with engineering in general. But after I joined UBC and did participate in some research opportunities, I also had the chance to talk to other upper year students who had really interesting co-ops in industrial settings. And in my courses with Chibi, I learned about large-scale applications of engineering concepts like the process design and optimization that I've mentioned earlier. So with these new knowledge, I've adjusted my goal a little and decided to explore other scale of engineering beyond academic research through the co-op program. So next year, I have 8 more months of co-op left after December. Starting in January, I'll be working with an engineering consulting firm who does research for industries. And for my co-op starting in May, I'll be working in a production plant as a manufacturing engineer. And hopefully with those experiences, I'll be able to decide if I do want to pursue grad school after I graduate, or if I want to move into a more industrial setting.
And Sajida, any kind of goals of specific careers for your future?
So I definitely do want to do some kind of grad school, like future research or a PhD. The engineering discipline that interests me the most is biomedical engineering. So I definitely want to do some sort of work in the biomedical industry. So currently I don't really know what that looks like because I'm in the middle of my second year, but what I think most likely it'll be is there is a lot of like cellular engineering type things that you can do in the future where you are working with designing synthetic organs. And I think that's a really cool idea that I would want to be a part of. And in my integrated engineering degree, I plan on taking biomedical specific courses that are in mechanical and electrical and materials and combining it into a catered degree that interests me with the courses that I like within biomedical engineering. So that's kind of what I'm planning to do with my iGen degree. And a project that I will be doing in for my second year capstone project is basically it's like a mental health computer science collaboration where it'll be like an app where you can it'll have a designware connected to you, and it can like measure your heartbeat, and it can measure various physical attributes and coordinate that with like an emotion, and then play music that'll like help you. Like if it notices that you're feeling sad, it'll play music to like make you feel better. And like if it notices you're feeling happy, it'll make music to make you like, enjoy that happiness sort of thing. So that's kind of what I'm working on. That's my second year capstone project. If someone was asking about that. Yeah.
Awesome. That sounds like a really cool project. I feel like that would be nice to have, where it can just play whatever music I'm in need of, and I don't have to do it myself. Awesome. So we're still getting a lot of questions. I'm trying to go through and find questions that haven't been answered yet. So there have been a few questions asking about, which we've kind of talked a little bit about already, but one student mentioned that they are in a computer science course. They find that they get a lot of mansplaining. Is that something that happens to you, that term of kind of being explained by males in the program? Some questions about how do you stand up in a group to make yourself heard? Is there anything along those lines that you want to add in? Because we are getting a few questions along those lines of ensuring that your voice is heard as a woman in engineering.
I tend to ask a lot of questions in general when I'm working, or if I'm working with other people, I'll poke around and say, hey, what you're working on? Or how does this concept work? So I just get things explained to me because I ask questions. But if I'm working with something that I know well, I express what I know so far, kind of thing, then maybe ask for other people's opinion on it if they have feedback, sort of thing. And if I'm giving feedback to someone else, I try my best to put myself in the mindset that I am ready to sit on the same side of the table to talk to you about this problem that we might have, instead of like, this is a you problem and I'm trying to fix it for you. It's more of a, this is our problem and how can we work together to improve the situation. So I find that that mindset of just mutual respect helps.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's nice to maybe talk to people one-on-one. So let's say you're being faced with like 10 guys. If you have like someone on your side already, I think that helps. So maybe make individual connections. And if you have personal connections, I find that people are more likely to listen to you and like respect you. And once you have that one-on-one respect, it gets much easier in a big group because there's like 5 people in that group who I'm already friends with, who I already have that respect established. And if you have that there, it just makes everything feel better.
Awesome. Thank you both so much for joining us today. If you want to help me with one thing that I always like to ask my panelists, I like to ask for one piece of advice that you would give students currently ready to apply to UBC engineering. So think all the way back to grade 12. What would you have needed to hear when you're applying to UBC engineering?
Own each experience as your authentic self.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think be yourself is the best thing to say, but going into engineering, trust that you have the skills. Feel confident in yourself and trust that you can do it and that you can be like the best that you can be. Another tip that I wish people told me is look into the opportunities that UBC offers even before you come in here. So Google UBC engineering, Google UBC engineering design teams, Google the various opportunities that you can get involved with and see if that's really what you want to be a part of. And then when you're coming into engineering, you'll have that list of this is what I want from this experience. And it makes you feel more like scheduled and structured. And I like having that feeling.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that great advice. Wendy, go ahead.
So I just wanted to say to all of our participants here who are listening in, we will probably be doing more information sessions in the coming months. And so I'm sure hopefully all of you have RSVP'd officially through our website. But if you haven't, I would suggest that you do so today. And then what we will do is we will email you to let you know if we've got any more information sessions coming up. So you can join us for those, so that you can get some more of the questions you've asked in the Q&A, because I see there's some really good questions that we would love to get to. So we'd love to do that in the future. So keep an eye out on in your email for that. And we'll continue to try and connect with you and answer your questions. But we just wanted to say thank you so much to both of you for sharing your experiences and just sharing how broad engineering really is. I think before I started working for engineering at UBC, I had no idea how many fields of engineering there were, how many jobs within engineering there are, and what engineers can do to really help people, help our cities, help the planet. I think it's an amazing career. And I hope you all consider it and explore more today and in the future to see if this is the right career for you.
Awesome, thank you. So before we wrap up, we have one more UBC hoodie to give away today, and that lucky winner is Ivy Garrity. So congratulations, Ivy, and congratulations to Iris. Clearly the I names were the winners today in this session. So Iris and Ivy, I'll be sending you an email to follow up about how to claim your free UBC hoodie. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us. We really appreciate you all being a part of the panel, and to all of our attendees who have joined us as well. Some really great questions. And thank you for asking and for joining us today as part of our open house. So thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.